time I was talking about potentiometer. Once again, a short revision and then we carry on. Potentiometer is a circuit actually. It is not an instrument. It is a circuit which is used to determine the EMF of a cell accurately. It always works on null deflection method. In potentiometer, we always use a galvanometer which gives null deflection. It is preferred to a voltmeter in measuring EMF of a cell because it works on null deflection method, which means it does not draw or it does not take up any current from the cell whose EMF is to be determined. So that is why it measures the EMF of a cell much more accurately than a voltmeter. When we try to measure with the help of a voltmeter, the voltmeter will consume some current from the circuit. Though it consumes less current, but it consumes some current from the circuit. So hence it does not measure it accurately. That is quite an important question. We'll mainly focus on the second principle of potentiometer, that is called principle of potential gradient. What is the meaning of potential gradient? Voltage per unit length. V by L ratio is called potential gradient. Voltage upon the length. Yesterday I showed we are having a suppose source here and there is a wire of here. The length of the wire is anything. Suppose the length of the wire is L and the voltage is V. What is the potential gradient of this wire? We write here V by L. Directly V by L we will write. For example, if suppose this V value, voltage value is suppose 4 volt and the length of this is 100 centimeter. 100 centimeter we can change in meter, it is 1 meter. What is the potential gradient of this wire? That will be coming 4 divided by 1. So we write as 4 volt per meter. But if there is some resistance over here, if they show some resistance over here, so that is 4 volt is not only applied across this, but it is also applied across this. You have to consider this also. So they will, in that case, they will give the resistance of this wire per unit length. They will give. Suppose they are saying the resistance of this wire is 4 ohm per meter. 4 ohm per meter, and out here it is given 4 ohm is only written here. That means what is the length of 4 ohm meter wire? What is the length of the 4 ohm meter wire? 1 meter. 4 ohm has got a resistance of 1 meter. Per meter is given. That means this is also 4 ohm. So 4 ohms length will be equal to how much meter? 1 meter. If it is 8 ohm, it will be 2 meter. If it is 12 ohm, it will be 3 meter. So we can do unitary method and calculate. So what is the potential gradient of the entire wire? I mean this voltage 4 divided by total length. This length is 1 meter and this length is also there. So 1 plus 1, 2 meter. Then that time the answer will come 4 divided by 2. Answer is coming 2 volt per meter. Okay, this is the method of finding the potential gradient. Now the principle number 2 of the potentiometer says that whenever there is a steady current flowing in the wire, the potential gradient will be of the wire will remain constant throughout. Everywhere the potential gradient value will be the same. This principle is based on Ohm's law. Question even may come, on what law is the principle of a potentiometer based? We say it is based on Ohm's law. So actually the reason is, what is Ohm's law? We say V equal to IR. Just you can understand from this equation, V is equal to IR is called Ohm's law. If I is constant, that means current flowing through the wire is constant, that is V is proportional to R. We write like this. V is proportional to R. And we continue further. R is equal to, we have the formula rho L by A. That is V is proportional to length provided the resistivity is same and area of cross section of the wire is same. That means we write V is proportional to L, that is V by L is equal to constant. That constant we can denote by K or anything else. If there are two such cases, then we can write as V1 by L1 is equal to V2 by L2. We can write like this. So directly proportional time, we write direct ratio this way. One will 1 will go with 1, 2 will go with 2. Or we can write another word as V1 by V2 is equal to L1 by L2. We can write. This is only an idea of it. We are starting with the Ohm's law V equal to IR and current we are keeping constant, then this will happen. V will be proportional to the length, that is V by L will be constant. This is what potential gradient. The potential gradient will be constant. But no need to copy this one. Now we are coming back to the main topic here. This is there in the syllabus. We will take a wire AB. We will take a wire AB. Length of the wire we will take as length of the wire is taken as L, capital L. Length of the wire will be taken as capital S. We can keep a key either this side or this side. You can add a key anywhere. So I will be using the key over here, and the key must be closed like this. That is, you are allowing the current to flow through it. The EMF of this cell. So this is a battery that B over here. We are having a battery B over here. And now we are connecting a cell whose EMF we want to find to this circuit. So how do we connect? Learn about that. So we will be using a cell with a galvanometer here like this. And a jockey will be sliding over. Jockey will have to slide on the wire like this. And when null deflection takes place, that length will be noting down. So that length will be again called balancing length, and that will be denoted by L, small l. And the EMF of this cell I will take as E, small e. The value of this E we want to find. Okay, now how to, this is the circuit we draw. Remember, this positive terminal and this positive terminal will be on the same side. Negative of this and negative of this will be on the same side. Terminals marking is also important. This key you must draw, and this key must be always kept on. Like this dot is always in on position. That means K is closed. This is the key K we are drawing. Okay. Now we will write like this: for null deflection. When null deflection takes place here, what does it mean? That means we are practically not drawing any current from this cell, because galvanometer is connected to this source only, this cell. That means this one is 0. That means we are not drawing any current from it. What is the potential gradient of the wire? Entire wire potential gradient will be what? This is the voltage B and divided by L. We write like that. B divided by L. And here, what is the length? Small l. And what is the voltage across this length? The voltage across this length is this one. So that will write it E upon L. If you make E the subject of formula, E value will become B by L into small l. So this is the formula of finding the unknown EMF. Okay, one thing to understand about it. Why this is happening? Because potential gradient is constant. Why it is constant? Because this gives null deflection. What is the significance of null deflection? If it gives null deflection, that means the current in the wire is constant, is steady. Current is flowing. That means current is not varying. Actual idea is the current of this source is supposed I take as I1, and current of this source I take as I2. But when this gives 0, that means I2 value is supposed to be actually in this region. What is supposed to happen? This current I1 and I2 is supposed to be joining together. I1 plus I2 will flow out here like this. But I2 value is 0. Why it is 0? Because of this. That means what current will flow? I1 plus 0. That means I1 only will remain here. Here also I1 only will remain. Throughout I1 will remain. As if this is out of the circuit. This is not supplying any current to the circuit. When this gives some deflection, zero deflection. But if it gives some deflection, that is, this current is not 0, that is, the current will not be steady, then this law will fail. This law is only applicable when the current is constant. And current will become constant only when this one gives null deflection or this one gives 0 deflection. Then only the current will be constant. This part you may not show, this is just for your understanding I did. So this is how we will be finding the unknown EMF of this cell. One practical example I will just give. Suppose this battery voltage is 4 volt. One example. The length of this wire is 100 centimeter. That means this is entire length is 100 centimeter. This length is 100 centimeter. And when we are sliding the jockey on the wire, the length recorded for which the null deflection is taking place. So this length recorded is 40 centimeter. What is the value of E? Can we calculate? What is the potential gradient of this wire? Potential gradient of this wire will like is 4 divided by 100 will like equal to. What is the potential gradient of this part of the length of the wire which gives null deflection? That is 40. And what is the EMF that E divided by 40 we will do? E divided by 40. Now we will calculate, the answer will come. 0, 0 will go. 16 by 10 is the value of E. 0 will go 1.6. 1.6. We can say that the EMF of this cell is how much? 1.6 volt. Done. If by chance there is some resistance here, there is some extra resistance over here. One example I am giving, and that time we will say the resistance of this wire is 4 ohm per meter. They are saying that, and resistance of this one is 6 ohm. Suppose. So this 4 volt is not only applied across this length 100 centimeter, but it is also applied across this. Can we change what is the length of equivalent length for this ohm? Can we do unitary method out there? 4 ohm, like this 4 ohm has got a resistance of 1 meter, therefore 6 ohm will have a resistance of how much? 1 by 4 into 6. You get as a 1.5 meter. Answer is coming 1.5 meter. This will be equivalent to, you can write a 1.5 meter. Unitary method calculation. Now, how to find the value of EMF in that case? There will be writing 4 divided by the total length. Total length is 100 centimeter, that is 1 meter. 1 meter and 1.5, that means you can add 2.5 meter. And out here we write E divided by 40 centimeter. Will change in meter. 0.4 meter. Because this thing I kept in meter. Either in meter or in centimeter you can keep. This is centimeter, this also will be centimeter. This is meter, this also will be meter. Now you can do cross multiplication and find the value of EMF of the cell. But if there is some extra resistance shown over here, this is also to be taken into account, and then you will be doing the calculations. So this is the circuit diagram. Only example I gave, the numerical example I showed how we can calculate the value of EMF of the cell. Now, two things to always remember here in this case. This cell is called driver cell because this one is sending the current in the circuit, and this one is called standard cell. The EMF of this cell has to be bigger than the EMF of this cell. In every circuit, this B, make sure that this value is more than this one. You should not use a cell whose EMF is greater than the EMF of this cell. Why? The reason because V is proportional to the length. Greater length is this one, so this B should be greater. This is correct because we are balancing length is on this wire, that means shorter than the entire length. It will be somewhere here this side. That means this EMF has to be less than this EMF. At the most it can be equal. When we touch it here, that is this potential gradient, this potential gradient are equal. That means the two EMFs are same. At the most it will be can be equal. But this value can never be less than the value of this one. That is one thing you have to note down. And secondly, this terminal positive should be connected to positive, negative terminal must be connected to the negative terminal. These two things you must remember and you must check in the circuit. One year they had given a question, simple question like this. The question was saying what can be the two faults in the circuit? What can be the two faults? You have to name two faults which can occur in the circuit. What answer you would say? You say that B value should be always or should not be less than the value of EMF. That is first fault. Second fault, the terminals must be correctly connected. If the terminals are not joined or not connected properly, then the galvanometer will not give zero deflection. It will not give zero deflection. So this is the circuit diagram to determine the EMF of a cell. Now the second case, This second case which we are going to do is the most important case and is very likely to come in your exam. So we can have to determine the internal resistance of a cell. To determine the internal resistance of a cell. This is the heading. To determine the internal resistance of a cell. This is the most important heading of this electric circuit chapter. So for this the diagram will remain the same. The upper part will not change, we will keep it same. This is A, this is B, and now we are having a key and a driver cell here. Here you can have, you may not have also this one, resistance. If we show resistance over here, it's okay. This is the driver cell, and here now we will be having a cell like before. We are having a cell and a galvanometer is here. Okay, first you can understand what is happening. This is a variable resistance just to keep the current under check. This is key. This key always must be put on, must be always closed. Make sure. Okay, now you can see what is happening. Suppose we are having a cell like the previous one I showed you, connected to the cell positive with positive, negative side is the other side, and this what is the potential gradient of the wire? That for null deflection. Now here only we will be having a resistance. With the key like this. This is K1. For null deflection, when K1 is open, that means first this resistance is R, capital R. This key is K1 is kept open. When K1 is open, K is always closed. This key is always closed. But this K1 in the first case will keep it open. That means no current we are drawing. No current is flowing through this R. This is out of the circuit. This is not joined in the circuit. That means. So what we can write? Potential gradient of the entire wire, that will be coming B divided by the total length. Total length, I will take the length of this one plus length of this one together. Total length is L. Is equal to, we are balancing this EMF because this is as if not in the circuit. Then we write here E divided by the balancing length for this recorded is L1. Write as L1. Write L1 here as equation 1. Mark this in equation 1. Now second case, for null deflection, when K1 is closed, first reading will take down for L1 without closing the key, that is we are keeping this part off. This is not there in the circuit. We are balancing just this EMF. So we have this equation coming. Second time what will happen? We will be closing this key. This is always kept closed. Now we are closing the key K1. Now this time this part we are, what is the potential gradient of the wire? It is same as before. So we will write same thing, B by L only. It has not changed. Now when current flows through a resistance R, this voltage will balance the length. Now the new balancing length will be shorter than, because EMF is bigger than the terminal voltage. So this new balancing length will show by dotted line here, J dash, new position. The new balancing length is L2. So that time the voltage, terminal voltage is balanced, not the EMF. The voltage across this is balancing this length L2. So we write here V by L2 as the equation number. Now left hand side is equal, therefore these two will be equal. Therefore, from equation 1 and 2, from equation 1 and equation 2 will be equating, right? E by L1 is equal to E by L2. Now we are carrying on out here and will be finding a formula for R. How do we find this? V I take it down and L1 will go there. So we like this. E by V is equal to L1 by L2. Now, what we will do here in this equation, E by V minus 1 we will do here also, L1 by L2 minus 1 on both the sides, subtract minus 1 on both the sides, because this will help you to find expression that V LCM on that will become E minus V. This part, you can take LCM here also, L2, this will become L1 minus L2. We know the formula V is equal to E plus, V is equal to E minus IR. Therefore, E minus V will become IR. So, E minus V value I like that I is R. And V is equal to I capital R. Here we get L1 minus L2 by L2. I and I cancel. Therefore, the value of R will become like this. L1 minus L2 by L2 into R. So, this becomes the formula for finding the internal resistance of the cell. L1 length is always bigger than L2 length. That means when it is kept open, so we are balancing the EMF. When it is kept closed, closed means you are switching on. Then we are balancing the terminal voltage. That is V. That time voltage is V. So this becomes the formula. This is the circuit. Question will carry 3 marks most probably. 1 mark on the diagram. Solid marks is on the diagram. 1 mark. Second mark will come on writing these two equations. Second mark. And the third mark will come on deriving this equation. At the end you come to this, then you get the full 3 marks. So sometimes question comes in B set part, they will ask you just draw the circuit diagram and give the formula of finding the internal resistance of the cell. So you just do this much. And circuit diagram is over. Maybe 2 marks here and 1 mark just writing the formula. You may not show these steps, but these steps also you need to learn because full derivations may come there in exam. And this is highly important in your batch. Please learn it well, the diagram and the formula here. So there used to be another things also on potentiometer, but now they have reduced the syllabus. Only 2 things they have given, and what we did. First was how to determine the EMF of the cell and how to determine the internal resistance of a cell. We have only this method to find the internal resistance of the cell. There is no other method of finding the internal resistance of the cell. There is no instrument. We got a circuit. Potentiometer only is used to find the internal resistance of a cell. The value is small r. We find only by this method and by this circuit. So this is done. This was the last topic of current electricity. Now we will be doing problems on potentiometer. Potentiometer's problem will be. But I already gave you the idea. So now we are doing some numerical problems on potentiometer, which came in the past and which is likely to come. They may ask you to just find potential gradient. You know how to find potential gradient. I already showed you how to calculate potential gradient. We are doing some questions now, some numericals. I see one question. They are given like this, and it is quite simple. It was given like this. Question says, the figure below shows a potentiometer wire AB of length 100 cm. The length of the wire AB is 100 cm. Question says, a cell of EMF 3 volt and negligible internal resistance is connected across 2 ends as shown. What is the reading in the voltmeter BC? In the voltmeter is BC 70 cm. This BC length is given 70 centimeter. This is given 70, and the entire length is 100 centimeter. As I told you, entire length is given 100 centimeter. You have to find the value of this voltmeter reading. There is a voltmeter. You have to find the reading of that voltmeter, and which terminal of the voltmeter is positive. That they are also asking. Which end of which terminal of the voltmeter is positive. So that is simply it can be seen. This is positive, this side will be positive, this is negative, this side will be negative. You can say the left terminal is positive and right terminal is negative. But question is talking about positive terminal. We say left terminal is positive. Now how to find potential gradient? You make equal. Though there is no calorimeter, there is no non-deflection, that means voltmeter is not consuming any current. So make the potential gradient like 3 volt applied across what length? 100 centimeter, right? 100. This voltage V is applied across what length? 70, right? 70. By chance if this is 70 here, then this remaining will be 30. Then that time we add 30 here and calculate the answer just now. Answer will come 2.1. Finished. This question is solved. Yeah. Now, I take another question. Question says there is a circuit given. I will draw the circuit at first. Circuit given here. Question says AB is a potentiometric wire of length 4 meter and having a resistance of 2 ohm per meter. Question says that balancing length is obtained at AJ equal to 80 centimeter. Question says that find the value of EMF E. Find the value of EMF E. How do we find it? The idea is very simple. 6 volt applied across which length? We will check the length. The total length is 4 meter. Take 4 meter here. But this is also there. We will convert this into length. How do we convert? Unitary method. 2 ohm has a resistance of 1 meter. Therefore 5 ohm we have resistance of how much? 1 by 2 into 5. 5 by 2, that is 2.5 meter. So this thing is equivalent length is 2.5 meter. This also will take into consideration 2.5. EMF is E. 80 centimeter will change in meter, 0.8. Now you calculate the answer. 6 into 0.8 divided by 6.5. This much what is answer. Finished. That's simple. Now, another question. Question says, if the galvanometer in the given circuit reads 0, find the value of the resistance R. There is a circuit given here. I draw the circuit. There is a circuit given here and they are asking to find the value of this R. This is wire wound resistor, that is coil type, wire wounded in the form of coil. The value of resistance of this one is given 10 kilo and this is R ohm and they are asking to find the value of R. Galvanometer gives null deflection. What does it mean? That potential gradient will be same, but we are not having length, we are having resistance only, so we will do resistance wise. That is current is same throughout. This one does not give any current. This cell is not giving any current here for the time being. We will be writing this 12 divided by what resistance here? Resistance value is 10 plus R. Like that answer. 10 plus R equal to this and that 2 divided by R. 2 volt is applied across R. Now we get the answer. 2 1s are 2 6 are cross multiplied. 6R is 10 plus R. 5R is equal to 10. Therefore, R value is coming 2. Unit will be same. This is kilo ohm, so this R also will be kilo ohm. Same. That's the answer. This is the value of R. This part is done. Then there is a second part also in the question. Second part of question says, what will happen if we blow cool air across wire wound resistor? If we blow cool air over here, what will happen now? Question says that. The answer will be when you blow cool air, that means temperature will decrease, it will be cooling, that means temperature will fall. So as the resistance will also change. When the resistance will decrease, then what will happen? Current will become high. Current of this source suddenly become fluctuating. When the current fluctuates, then do you think this equation will hold true? The answer is no. Because current has to be constant, current has to be steady throughout. When the current is fluctuating, then this galvanometer will give some deflection. So deflection will not be zero in that case. That we will write. Due to blow of cool air, the resistance of the wire wound coil will change. We write that the resistance will change so as the current, and hence the galvanometer will give some deflection. The deflection will not be zero in that case. That answer will be right. Okay. Now we are doing another question. We are doing another question now. Question says, a cell gives a balance with 85 centimeter of the potentiometer wire. A cell gives a balance with 85 centimeter of a potentiometer wire. When the terminals of the cell are shunted through a resistance of 7.5 ohm. Terminals of the cell are shunted is in parallel we are putting, shunted through a resistance of 7.5 ohm. A balance is obtained at 75 centimeter. Find the internal resistance of the cell. Find the internal resistance of the cell. There is a small r. What is the formula of small r? We like this L1 minus L2 by L2 into r. This is the formula we have. So we write down this formula. L1 is when we are not shunting, when we are not using r. So that time the balancing length obtained was net 85. So that 85 here. Bigger length will be always L1 minus L2. L2 when we are shunting through r, the balancing length was 75. This also is 75, and the value of this r is given 7.5. So we like that. Direct formula based. Now we will do the calculation. This will become 10 by 75 into 7.5. 7.5 into 75 cancel. Answer is 1. This is the value of r. The value of internal resistance to the cell is 1. So these are directly formula based question. Internal resistance formula is direct of L1 minus L2 divided by L2R. These two will remain the same, so always remember. First case we have L1 by L2 and then we do minus 1. While we derive with minus 1 both the side, we subtract. All the questions on potentiometer will be like there will be one voltage here and another voltage will be there on another side, and there will be null deflection and all. So we will be making the, either if the length is given, we write V by L ratio will make equal, And if resistance is given, we'll make the ratio of V by R and V by R equal, and then we have the unknown answer coming out. And this is the direct formula for finding the internal resistance of the cell. So this much was there in the potentiometer. The earning potentiometer is also over, and so as the current electricity is over. So next day we will start something new.